Good evening, everyone. You're watching The Catholic Monarchist. Some sad news that has come out in the past few days. His Excellency Bishop Bernard Tissier de Malaray of the SSPX had a very dangerous accident, and ultimately it claimed his life last Tuesday. For anyone who doesn't know too much about the history of the SSPX, Bishop de Malaray was one of the four bishops consecrated by Archbishop Lefebvre, and he faithfully served as a holy bishop for 36 years. I can only imagine how many souls he must have influenced. The countless sermons, communions, confirmations, confessions, and so on. He lived a life that most would never accomplish. Sadly, I never had the chance to really meet and talk to him, except, on an occasion or two when I was younger and maybe a few words were exchanged in passing. So I was confirmed by Bishop Williamson back when he was in the SSPX. And then, for the most part, in most other circumstances, whenever a bishop came to visit for something, it always seemed to be Bishop Fillet. And, I'm perfectly happy with that. He's great, and he's just really the definition of a great man. Just everything he's done, who he is. But yeah, I never got much chance to see Bishop de Malaray in person, but I've heard nothing but wonderful things about him. And when you really look at men like him, the sacrifices they've made, the humility, their dedication to doing God's work, that's what a hero really is. Those are the kinds of people that we should be looking up to. Not athletes, not celebrities, not influencers. So it is a sad time to lose a great man like him. He brought joy to a lot of people, and he helped countless souls. And so God bless him. And in the wake of this, I noticed quite a few people mentioning that the SSPX needs to start getting moving with consecrating new bishops. And while their concerns are certainly understandable, my message to them would be, relax. That time will come. This is not the type of decision that should be made recklessly. This is not a matter to be taken lightly and hastily. There is a lot that goes into making sure that this is done prudently. They have to, make sure that they're choosing the right men, obviously. These are irreversible decisions that will affect many souls and will cast a great reflection on the society as a whole. Yeah, I get that we only have 2 bishops left. And that's too much of a workload, especially since, they're not young men anymore. But we'll get the bishops we need soon. God isn't going to just suddenly do something to them and leave us without any bishops. Not if we honestly believe that the SSPX's mission is truly right and truly trying to do God's work. So let's cut them a break, give them time they need to make the prudent decisions. These are decisions that have massive consequences. They have a weight on their shoulders that a vast majority of us would never wish to have. and just also out of decency. Let's just wait a bit before jumping into this issue. And then finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about the SSPX and politics, just for a bit. I was talking with a friend, and besides some personal disagreements, maybe, we agree that political groups and movements like Republicans, conservatives, the far right, red pillars, etc., while they have some good points in different ways, some more or less than others. Overall, none of them are the answer. None of them will move our nation towards a place that ultimately puts God's will first. If any of them actually succeeded, then we're still not really getting anywhere that we need to be. So what do we have then? Because even Catholic nowadays is not enough, thanks to Vatican II and the infiltration in the church overall. So many so-called Catholics don't even follow Catholic teaching and are no better than atheists in many ways. Well, we have the SSPX, who unapologetically reflect true traditional Catholic teaching. If you have questions about ethics, morals, the crisis in the church, politics, culture, the SSPX is your best bet to get the answers that are truly Christian or truly Catholic. Now, with all that being said, it's not their duty either to be a political movement. They are religious, and their duty is to help save souls. The political end of things needs to be constructed by us lay people. We can't just sit back and expect bishops and priests to do all that for us. We need to have media, culture, political governance, and so on. As a political movement, not officially associated with the SSPX, but it should make itself influenced by it. It should be run by those who attend, the SSPX churches. So, while I have my podcast here, and I attend SSPX masses and receive the sacraments from them, my podcast is not a part of their organization. I don't like that word. It's not really the right word for it, but you know what I mean. Any opinions that I have on policies and issues, I try to mold them based around what the SSPX teaches. And I'm not always going to be right. I'm not always going to get it right. And if I'm wrong about something, that's a reflection on myself, not on the SSPX. And so, if we want to make a difference, we need Catholic books, Catholic political pundits, Catholic podcasts, Catholic movies, entertainment, etc. If we're just going to continue on having a conservative or Republican version of these things, then we're never going to get to where we need to be. Not even close. If we want to make a difference in the right direction, there's no easy way to do it. It has to be built from the ground up. It has to encompass everything, education especially. And we have to lead by example. This current strategy of simply accepting the way things are now and shaping one's policies around them, aka celebrating abortion, sodomy, and so on, is not only failing to succeed in winning a majority of the vote, quite often, I might say, but even if it were to, what's it accomplishing? A true victory should be to shift the culture into a place where it's a sound strategy to be 100% pro-life, traditional, pro-family, and goes without saying pro-God and Christian. We have to have the right versions of these things. If we want to have any chance of countering the garbage that our current culture is putting out there, then things have to change. Look at that new movie, Conclave. It's supposedly a Catholic movie. Yeah, it's a complete mockery of tradition and puts the Catholic Church in a bad light. Someone a while ago told me about it and said they might give it a chance. You never know. But all I had to know is, one, that it's a Hollywood movie, and two, seeing the director's name and checking his early life to know that this was going to be a complete joke and not worth a second of our time. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. And of course, I was vindicated. Not hard. I mean, it wasn't hard to see that. But yet, this garbage is going to go out there and influence some people negatively towards true Christianity, of course. But that was the purpose of its existence. And we don't have much to counter it. The Daily Wire sure as heck isn't going to do it. Neither are any of these other conservative media companies. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say here is that the SSPX is who we should be following spiritually. And they and their mission is what we should be taking inspiration from to create a counterculture that puts God's will first and is traditional Catholic. And that's pretty much it. So that's all I got here. And I'll see what I got next time. But you all have a great rest of your day. God bless.